gap of 3 days between mocks. So if you are giving multiple mock series in parallel, that is fine, but at least make sure that between two mocks there is at least a 3 days gap, and in those 3 days focus on practicing, focus on working on the weak areas or any issues that you have identified, focus on working on that. So somebody asks, Rohita is asking that I've just started preparing for CAT. What should I do? So it is fine. There is still time remaining for CAT, but I would want that you spend at least like 5-6 hours every single day preparing for CAT. What you need to do now is basically the syllabus for CAT is fairly large. To do that in less amount of time will be difficult. So what I would suggest is that to clear CAT, to get 95 percentile in quant, VARC, and DILR, the strategy I would suggest is become very, very good in arithmetic. So first thing is you tackle arithmetic, all topics of arithmetic, and go in depth in arithmetic. Have a lot of practice of arithmetic questions, time, speed, distance, profit and loss, averages, ratio and proportion, mixtures and solutions. Everything in arithmetic, you should become an expert in that. Then become an expert in either algebra or geometry, because that is essentially required to have a 95 percentile score in quant. Arithmetic plus algebra plus geometry, that would be enough. For VARC, focused only on RCs. If you do very well in RCs, you get to 95 percentile. DILR, focus on tables and charts, focus on puzzles and arrangements. If you're able to solve those sets, again, you get to 95 percentile. So I'll just check if we are live on YouTube. We had some issue over there, and if we are live there, then we can start the stream in earnest. Yeah, okay, we are live there. So good to see a lot of people have joined us on YouTube also. I'll be answering all your questions. So just put your questions in either YouTube or Instagram, and I'll be answering all the questions. Here in this particular session, mostly I will be focusing on the last minute strategy. The last few days, what should be your strategy? What should you revise? What should you focus on? Okay. So good to see a lot of people have come in. Okay, ma'am, मैं एक set भी solve नहीं करता in LRDI. What should I do? So Chirag, what I will say is that focus on two areas particularly. One is tables and charts. Other is arrangements. Arrangements, basically linear arrangement. When you are able to solve linear arrangement, solve circular arrangement. From circular arrangement, solve Einstein's puzzles. These are essentially different variations of puzzles and arrangements. One set will definitely come from puzzles and arrangements. Generally, it is of a puzzle form which includes some arrangement. That you should basically solve all variations of arrangements and all variations of puzzles. Then you will be able to solve one set. The second type of sets that come often are basically based on tables and charts. So table, basically a table with missing values, table with like data given over years, data given with cumulative data, or data is given in the form of a chart. So these are the second most common and easy type of LRDI sets that come. Try to solve a lot of LRDI sets from that, so it will become, so those will be the two type of most common sets that come that you can solve because they are of the easier type. First, try to get some expertise in that so that there will be at least one set out of the four that you can solve. The next set, that next topics that you should then aim at are like Venn diagrams, roots and networks, or 2D or 3D space LR, where you can essentially learn tricks or ways to actually solve them. But first, focus on tables and charts and puzzles and arrangements. Okay. How to avoid being panicky during attempting a question? Himanshu, I would say that one of the things when it comes to CAT is basically you need confidence. You need a lot of confidence while solving RC questions. You need a lot of confidence while solving quant questions also. In LRDI, even I panic because sometimes if after 10 minutes I'm not able to get the answer, I feel that, okay, it's like a sunk cost. At 10 minutes, no answer, I'll have to move to another LRDI set. I might not get that also. So panic is very, very common. The whole thing that you have to remember is that if you have practiced, if you have worked very hard, if you feel that I have done everything that I possibly can, then you feel a amount of confidence in yourself. You will feel more calmer. Panic generally comes when I feel I haven't done enough. If I feel that I have gone in without any preparation, suppose I'm supposed to give a speech tomorrow and I have not prepared at all for it, I'll be completely panicky. So panic generally comes when you feel that you have not prepared enough. So what I would suggest is that work hard in these last 50 days, solve as many questions as you can, because when you do that, internally you will know that you have done everything you can. Then you will feel more confident, then you will feel less panicky, then you will not panic while solving questions. Okay, so all those who have joined, just keep asking, putting your questions here. I will be trying to answer with the best to the best of my ability. One main thing that I would like to say about where to start your revision, what are the things that things that you must absolutely revise before you take CAT. The first thing that I will say is that please take a look at our revision videos. In Cracku's playlist, we have free revision videos. So there are two revision videos for quant, one revision video for LRDI, one revision video for VARC. So in quant, the just see all both videos. That's like 4 hours or so of content. That is the perfect revision that you can possibly have, because all the formulas are covered. How to use the formula is covered. Everything is covered. I would say that all of these revision videos are absolute must see just before CAT. So because before CAT you have a lot of formulas to go through. I also need to revise a lot of geometry formulas because I tend to forget them. Like cosine rule, okay, what is the cosine rule? I tend to forget. You tend to forget many of these formulae, and these are not something that you use every day, but they will definitely come in CAT. One or the other formula will come in CAT, and then you will feel that, okay, I should have revised that formula. So I would say that before you go, definitely do take a look at our revision. Hi, sorry, I think we got disconnected for a while. Are you guys with me? Okay. Are you guys able to see me? I think we went, it was disconnected for a second. I don't know. Yeah, if you're able to see me, I'll just continue. Yeah. Is it on YouTube also? Let me see. Yeah, I think we are live on YouTube also. Let me know if you are facing any issue on YouTube. And I see a lot of people on both YouTube as well as Instagram. So I would request one small thing from all of you guys. Please like the stream. It helps us reach more students. It helps us. It motivates us to do more of these streams. So if this stream is helpful for you, please like the stream. It will mean that we will do more of these streams. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So cool. So as I was saying, please revise geometry formulas. Geometry formulas are the things that most people tend to. Uh, are you guys able to see me? Oh man. Uh, Hi guys. I don't know if you guys can see me now. Hi guys, sorry. I think are you guys able to see me now on this? Sorry about that. We are having some technical difficulty where we are like getting stuck with the where the system is hanging. So I think we are. I think we are live back again. Just let me know if everything is fine in the streams, both YouTube guys as well as Insta guys. Sorry about doing this. Sorry about the technical issues. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so as I was saying that, okay, so as I was saying, revise geometry formulae. That is something that a lot of students forget. In DILR, revise or mug up essentially representation format. So for scheduling, this is the representation format. For table-based sets, this is the representation format. This I have covered entirely in the DILR. This I want you to revise and mug that up. In VARC, I want you to mug up the or mug up as in like revise the toolkit for parajumbles, like connectors, pronoun antecedent, all those connection kind of like tools. I want you to revise just before the actual this. So make sure that you see the revision videos and you revise all those concepts just before the exam. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'll this struggling with quants. So somebody, Sweetie asked, I have completed only arithmetic and algebra. So Sweetie, I would say that arithmetic and algebra is fine. You need to add one more to the mix, and that should be enough. See, you don't need to solve all 22 questions to do well in quant. Ideally, the 99 percentile cutoff for quant has now come down to like almost 12 or 13 marks as 13 questions, right? That is like about half of the, if even if you're able to solve half of the quant section, you will be getting to 99 percentile in quant. So you don't need to cover every single thing in quant. You can actually say that, okay, I'm going to do only arithmetic, algebra, but both of these are not sufficient. I would say that pick one more thing. So you can pick one of the smaller topics like logarithms. You can pick number systems, just HCF, LCM. Number systems generally can tend to be a bit difficult for some students who have not prepared for it. You can, I would say that if I was in your place, I would pick logarithms because it is very formula driven. And if you have already done algebra, mostly logarithms comes in conjunction with algebra. So if you finish logarithms also, there'll be more questions that you can solve. So if you finish and if you actually complete arithmetic, algebra, and logarithms, what I would say is that instead of looking for other topics to cover, just practice these three in detail. Just do very, very well in these three topics so that if any question comes from these three topics, you should be able to solve. So what will happen is that you will be able to solve 10 to 12 questions from just these three topics, and then it will be enough for you to actually clear the quant cutoff. Okay, so I don't say that complete the entire syllabus. Completing the entire syllabus is not really useful. You need expertise, and in this short time that you have, gaining expertise in everything is not possible. So you need to have targeted expertise in just a few areas. So instead of like covering everything and being at a basic level at everything will not be useful. Cover some things in detail. So choose arithmetic, go in detail, choose algebra, go in detail, and choose one more smaller topic. So it can be functions and graphs, logarithms, modern maths, progressions and series. Each of these gets one or two questions, which will be the additional part. I would suggest, since you have already completed algebra, either choose functions and graphs or choose logarithms, because these generally come in conjunction with algebra. Okay. My ma'am scoring 25 plus in both QA and DILR, but not even scoring 15 plus in VRC. How should I improve in less time? Murali is asking that. So Murali, what I will suggest is that in VRC, to crack VRC, you need to do better in RC. So how do you do better in RC? You have to practice a lot of RC sets. Now the time is not for broad-based reading or reading articles. You have to now hunker down and essentially just solve a lot of RC sets. Every single day, I want you to solve 5 RC sets. Solve RC sets. The formula that I use for solving RC sets is read the paragraph, write down the main point, read the paragraph, write down the main point. For some of the students, when I ask them to do this, when I ask them to do active reading, they say that if I try to do active reading, my attempt rate will go down. But you're already at 15. You have to find some way of essentially improving that from 15, right? So I would suggest try active reading, at least not for, if not for the first RCU attempt, at least for the second or third RCU attempt, please try active reading. It will help you quite a bit in firstly improving accuracy and improving the overall score. Forget VA for now. If you're at 15 with VARC, you should, your sole focus should be just RC. Just solve crazy amount of RC questions, RC sets, because what happens is that if you get good in RC, you also get good in para summary. If you get good in para summary, you can also figure out which sentence is missing or which sentence can be inserted. So you can also get better at para insertion. So if you're at 15 at RC, just focus on RCs. In VRC, just focus entirely on RCs. Solve 5 RCs every single day, and you will get better. Okay, ma'am, how to prepare for CAT from Cracku? So Rashi is asking that. Rashi, so we have a 45-day batch. We have a very targeted crash course for those who are looking to crack CAT in a very short duration. Do check it out. So what we do in every single crash course is basically we give you exactly what to do on a daily basis. So on day 1, you have to see these videos, you have to solve these concept tests. On day 2, you have to see these videos, you have to solve these concept tests. Because you don't have to think, what should I do today? It is automatically told to you. You end up not wasting any time. And right now, with so few days left till CAT, time is at a premium. So what I would suggest is do check out Cracku's crash courses. We have essentially like tried to put it down in the least or the most efficient manner and the least amount of content, exactly what would be needed to crack CAT. So do check out the courses. Ma'am, I'm doing just arithmetic as I only want to clear cutoff. Am I on the right path? Akshay, arithmetic is fine, but what happens at sometimes is that this is something that happened in CAT 2023 where arithmetic was very difficult. So what can happen is that, say suppose arithmetic is very difficult, algebra and geometry are not that difficult, the cutoffs will be high, but you will struggle with the cutoff because you have done only arithmetic is slightly dangerous. The golden combination that I feel is safe is arithmetic plus either algebra or geometry. So arithmetic plus algebra or arithmetic plus geometry plus one of the smaller topics. So the smaller topic can be logarithms, the smaller topic can be probability, the smaller topic can be progressions and series, the smaller topic can be functions or number systems. Basically, these are the ones where you get one or two questions from. So basically, the idea should be arithmetic plus algebra plus logarithms, arithmetic plus geometry plus functions and graphs. Anything of that sort, any combination of three things should be enough. But just arithmetic is slightly risky because if arithmetic is difficult, it would be difficult to clear cutoff. You will get 5 questions, of which one will be a very difficult time, speed, and distance question, which most students will struggle to actually clear. So only arithmetic is slightly risky. I would not suggest that. Make a combination of three things and prepare that properly for CAT. Okay. Ayush says, how many questions should I correctly aim for 90 percentile in CAT in each section? So basically, I would say that depends entirely on the difficulty of the section. For example, I'll tell you, in CAT 2022, I think for 90 plus, you would need about uh, 11 to 12 questions, right? And for the same thing, if you had CAT 2023 quant, it would be about 5 to 6 questions, right? For 90 percentile plus. That was because CAT 2023 quant was much more harder. So it depends entirely on how difficult the section is. Accordingly, the attempt rate has to either go up or go down. If I say roughly what you should aim at, roughly you should aim at 11 to 12 questions correct in quant. Roughly in VARC, you need 3 RCs plus some VA, or you need at least 3 RCs for 90 percentile plus in VARC. And in DILR, you need at least one set for 90 percentile. And if you want 95 percentile plus, you need two sets. Two sets, if it is completely correct, you will be up to 98 or 99 percentile. At only one set, you will be at about 90 to 93 percentile as such. Simran says, I have not practiced geometry at all, just went through the concept videos once along with the concept test. How to balance it with all the other stuff to practice? I'm not really good at algebra. See, Simran, if you need either algebra or geometry. So if algebra is not happening, I would say work on geometry. So I would say that practice subparts of geometry. The easiest part of geometry is solids, but essentially like area or volume or surface area, it's just basically remembering or mugging up some concepts, and there'll be very basic concepts to remember. There isn't a lot of variation or like difficult questions you can put in solids. That is the one thing that I would do. Second thing I would say is that work on polygons generally can help you get a few questions right, because polygons also are slightly limited in how many questions you can ask. Then I would say that work on either triangles or circles. Go deep in triangles. I would say first start with triangles, because triangles are generally more fundamental to geometry. If you start with triangles, you will be covering many questions that come in solids also. You'll be covering many questions that come as part of circles also. So I would say start with triangles. You need not do full geometry. Geometry is not one like full topic. It can be split into triangles, which is the most important part, circles, which is the second most important part, polygons, which is the third most important part, and solids, which is less important but easiest. Okay. Okay. So Name is saying I can do 3 sets per day and I'm starting from today. If I only focus on PYQ sets and practice 14 mocks, can I solve one set correct in actual D-Day? Maybe. Actually, I would say that previous year's questions, previous year's papers are very, very good sources of practice. But I would also say that you should also have some idea of how to go about it. So if you are seeing previous year's paper sets, what I would say is that at least complement it with we have videos about 50 most important questions for DILR. At least see that video, because we explain how to approach the set. So if you have at least some practice plus the approach, right, then you will definitely be able to solve the set. It is possible that you can figure out the right approach by yourself, but generally what I would say is that at least see how I or Maruti approach a previous DILR set, because we'll tell you how to draw out the table, how to like represent the information. Half of the battle with DILR is how to represent the information. If I At least if you know exactly, okay, if a scheduling type set comes, this is how I represent it, this is how I draw it out, then it will become easier for you to solve. I'm not saying that it is impossible to do it on yourself, but by essentially when this information is freely available, why not take it? So I would say that if you're practicing for DILR, at least see the 50 most important DILR sets that we have put up online, because we explain exactly how to approach different types of DILR sets, how to solve those. So at least look at them, because that will help you quite a bit in knowing the right approach to things. Okay. So one more thing, for those who are both for the guys on Instagram as well as YouTube, please like the stream. I see there are 134 people on Instagram, but only 58 likes. I see the sorry, this is on YouTube, and I see a lot of people on Insta also, but very few likes. So please like the stream, and please, if anybody is looking for a good mock series, do check out Cracku's mock series. We have courses beginning at just 999, so do check them out. We have excellent mocks. Every single mock is with video solution. We provide good text solutions, we provide good video solutions, and every single is mock is attempted by either me or Maruti. So I attempt the quant and LRDI section, Maruti attempts the VRC section, and you will see also what are the strategies that we use while solving mocks. So do check out Cracku's courses. Okay. So Vicky is asking, I'm from ISER Kolkata. I'm doing preparation for the revision series which you have provided on YouTube. Is it sufficient? In VRC, I forgot the previous paragraph and lost it completely. So VRC, what I would suggest is that if you're struggling to remember, the method that I use is active reading. So what I do in VRC is that in RCs, I read a paragraph. I try to understand the main point of it. I write down the main point of it. Reading and writing down the main point generally take me like 5 minutes. So when I do that, I don't have this problem of forgetting what is there in the paragraph. For those who want to see how this works in real life, is it possible to do this active reading in practice? What I would suggest is see my mock attempt. So in my mock attempt, it was a blind mock attempt. My team made the VRC sectional. It's a free VRC sectional. Everybody can give it. So if you go to cracku.in, there's a free VRC sectional, and I attempted it as a blind mock. And when I attempt any RCVRC section, I generally read the paragraph, write down the main point, read the paragraph, write down the main point. The whole reason for doing that is that I don't need to commit anything to memory. I don't need to remember the information that is there. And because I don't have to remember the information, it becomes much easier for me to digest and understand the information. So it should not be that, okay, I'm reading a paragraph, I'm trying to mug everything, keep everything in mind. Each passage is 500 words. It's very difficult to remember 500 words, but it's easier to remember 5 points. So when you're reading VRC, every paragraph, after every paragraph, write down a basic point. It need not be a grammatically correct sentence. It need not be a full sentence. It need not be anything as such. I generally write very, very basic points as such, but the whole point of writing those main points is that it helps me understand and make sense of the passage. See, when you I'll give you an example. Okay, what do I mean by writing down the main point of the paragraph? Suppose you are taking notes in a lecture. Okay, when the lecturer is giving you some lecture on, say, if you are from computer science, they will give you some lecture on computer networks. Now you are not writing down everything that the person is speaking verbatim. You're not saying if the person is giving you a lecture, you're not writing everything down. You're just writing down the highlights or the main points that they say, and you're writing down the things that you feel that are worthy of being remembered. Just write those things down, because then you will get a good summary or idea of the passage. Then it will become easier for you to answer the questions. Okay. Is it worth giving the NMAT exam? So basically, I will say that NMIMS is a very good college. Go and check out the NMIMS profile. What is the required cutoff? See your profile, and according to that, decide whether you have a realistic chance of going to NMIMS. If you feel that you have a realistic chance of going to NMIMS, definitely take the NMAT exam. It is a very good college. It is in Mumbai. It has good placements. It has a long-standing history as such. So it's a fairly good college. Based on your profile, you will have to take the call. Okay. Scoring 30 to 40 in mocks, please guide. So, Urja, what I would say is that, see, basically, if you're scoring 30 to 40 in mocks, you have to figure out where is the next area of improvement. See, what your mock score is not important. What is important is that how much you change between mock 1 to mock 2. So, suppose you have taken your last mock, say, a few days ago. Say that today is Thursday, your next mock is on Sunday. So, between Thursday and Sunday, what I want you to do is go back to the last mock, figure out the areas that you didn't do properly, you didn't score well in. So, for example, in quant, suppose you were not able to solve algebra questions, if you were not able to solve geometry questions, say that, okay, triangle questions I was not able to solve, I'll go and revise those concepts, I'll solve a lot of questions from geometry, then I'll take the test again on Sunday. Similarly, go for VARC sections, figure out the RCs that you were not able to solve. Were you not able to read the RC properly? What kind of RCs do you struggle with? Practice some RCs so that you get better at it. If there were any VA type of VA questions you couldn't solve, practice those questions and then take the mock again. See, basically, the idea should be that between mock 1 and mock 2, you should have at least like 3-4 marks improvement. Mock 2 to mock 3, again, another 3-4 marks improvement. 3 marks basically is one more additional question, right? If you're not having that improvement, you're not doing the practice that is required between those two marks. So you have to essentially focus on that. Okay. 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 So somebody is asking, my mocks are not going well. Ma'am, save me. So don't worry. You need to calm down. There's no need or there's no reason to panic at all. See, basically, you have to essentially think that between your mocks are essentially indicators of where the problem areas are. The mocks are not. A lot of students think that a mock is basically there to tell me that all is well. Okay, I should feel that, oh, everything is well, everything is going out like properly. That is not the point of the mock at all. The point of the mock is to show the areas that are weak, that to show the areas that require work. Now, when you look at mocks in that light, in that way, you will have a more constructive attitude towards mock. You will have a more constructive attitude towards your CAT preparation. There is nothing to worry about or panic about mocks. The mocks basically tell you that, okay, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. So between mock 1 and mock 2, what I want you to essentially look at that, okay, what were the areas that mock highlighted? If you give dashcats, we get a table of weaknesses, right? Pick at least 3 areas of weaknesses and make them strengths by the next mock. That should be your idea, that whatever is the area of weakness that is highlighted, just convert it into a strength. I will say that, okay, algebra has been identified as a weakness. Between this mock and the next mock, I have to essentially just work on algebra, nothing else. I'll just solve like 100 questions from algebra. I'll make sure that algebra is no longer a source of weakness for me. That should be your attitude. A lot of people are afraid of mocks. That is like completely this, suppose like you have a older parent and they are suppose having high blood pressure or sugar, and then they say that I'm not going to get my blood sugar tested or my blood pressure tested. What would you feel? You would feel that this is not right, right? A mock is just like that. It's just a indicator of where you are. It is not there to make you feel good about yourself or make you feel bad about yourself. It is just there to show, okay, where are you and what is the next step that you have to do. So do not be afraid of mocks, do not panic, just put in the work and the improvement will come. Okay. How to apply for CAT crash course, ma'am? Aniket, our support team will talk to you. Just in the chat, we'll give you the link to that. Do take a look at the crash courses. They will help you immensely in preparing for CAT in a structured manner. Okay. So I'll be taking a last few questions because we are past the halfway mark. So, ma'am, I am applying through EWS now. Many YouTubers are saying that the EWS have higher cutoff than general candidate. I am a non-engineer, no work ex. Akshay, that is incorrect information. From what I've told, EWS, the cutoffs are not much lower than general category. But if you consider both the like the call, getting the percentile cutoff for getting a call, as well as the cutoffs for getting a final convert, both of them are at least slightly lower than the general category. So do not worry about that. If you are an EWS candidate, definitely use it. The cutoff will definitely not be higher than general category. I'm able to solve the PY previous year's questions easily, but facing difficulty while solving Cracku mocks. Adi, that is fine. See, basically what happens with previous year's question is that if you take a mock in a mock format, it becomes challenging. The same questions, even Cracku mocks, okay, after the mock has ended, if you take a look at the question, it is not challenging anymore. It is generally the mock pressure which makes you stumble. So when the mock pressure is making you stumble, should you try to escape from the mock pressure, or should you try to get yourself accustomed to that pressure? I would say that get accustomed to the pressure, because whatever pressure you feel in a mock, you're going to feel much more pressure in an actual cat scenario. In an actual cat scenario, a lot of people feel like very, very panicky and very, very like very scared. So you have to get used to that. I know many of you can actually solve all of the questions. Whether you can solve it under that pressure, under that time pressure, when the timer is going down, that is basically what is going to determine whether you're able to solve it in the actual cat or not. Okay, so work at it. Even if you're able to solve the questions from previous year's question paper or from Cracku mocks after the submit is done, you should get used to that pressure, and you should get used to solving questions under time pressure. How to manage time in VRC section? Do you consciously think of time during VRC? Sri Mukesh, I don't actually think that much about time. I basically try to split my VRC section into two parts. The RC, I give around 8 minutes per RC. So after the first RC, I take a look and see that, okay, is it 8 minutes? Have I gone above or under? After the second mock, second this also I take a look. If I'm gone over the 8 minute mark, I try to speed up my reading and writing for the next this. Basically, I try to make sure that my 4 RCs are done by the 32-minute mark, and then I'm left with 8 VA questions and 8 minutes. I first try to solve the para summary. I then try to solve the para insertion. Generally, I'm left with 4 questions of para jumbles with 4 minutes or lesser. Basically, I try to solve the entire section, but I give a very high priority to RCs, because I know that if I do the RCs well, I'll get a very good score. Para jumbles do not give the same amount of return on effort as RCs do. So I generally keep an eye per RC. So after every RC, I see, is it 8 minutes or is it lesser or is it more? And based on that, I adjust my attempt strategy. Okay. Okay. So somebody is asking any YouTube channel for revision. So Cracku's YouTube channel is the best one for revision. Do check out our revision videos. So we have put up 4 revision videos, 2 for quant and 1 for VARC and 1 for LRDR. So what I have done in the quant video is basically covered every single formula, covered which formula to use in what scenario. So generally, when like if a like geometry question comes, you don't know which formula to use. Okay, but I've told you, okay, if angle bisector is given, there's probably a question based on angle bisector theorem. If this kind of information is given, it is probably based on this kind of formula. So I've given all of that information so that it is a revision for you, both of the formulas and also the application of the formulas. Okay, that is what I've done in the quant. In LRDI, I have told you exactly how to represent information for the different types of sets that come. This is very, very important. Know the representation formats, because generally, if you calmly do the representation formats, you will definitely be able to solve two LRDI sets. If you panic, if you don't represent the information properly, then it becomes difficult to solve two LRDI sets. Lastly, for VARC, I have covered RC, how to solve RC, how to approach RC, and as well as the VA questions, how to approach them, what kind of tricks you can use to solve those questions. So do check out Cracku's revision videos. I'll take one last question and we'll end for today. Understanding the RC questions is the biggest challenge sometimes. Please make a video on the types of questions asked for RC. So Rakesh, we have those kind of videos in our crash course if you're looking for a more detailed view. So basically in our crash course, we have looked at RC from 2 lenses. First is the different types of RCs that can come. So scientific RCs, informative RCs, philosophical RCs, persuasive RCs. So we have considered, okay, if this type of RC comes, what are the type of questions that will come? One is that lens. The other lens is that what kind of questions come. So there'll be questions on author agree, disagree. So how to answer them. So we have covered both of these things in detail in our course. So if you're looking for specific information like that, I would suggest do check out our courses. We have a specific course even for verbal VRC section. So if you're looking for just that, you can take a look at the VRC master course, which just deals with that specific part as such. So with this, I'll be ending today's stream. Thank you all those who have joined us. It has been extremely fun interacting with all of you. If there was any question which I was not able to solve, if you have any questions, please put it under the in the comment section. We try to answer all the questions that you asked, even in the comment section. So please put any doubts that I was not able to solve. I'm sorry about that. I try to solve as many questions as possible. But if I missed anything, please put it in the comment section. We'll be trying to solve or answer any question that we get in the comment section. So thank you guys, all those who have joined us.